Good evening, everyone. Molweni, goeienaand en baie welkom. Welkom hier op Stellenbosch. Welcome to the Southeaster. It's great to see all of you here. Welcome to all the parents and guardians in the audience. I also welcome members of the University Council as well as student leadership structures. However, the real VIPs tonight are our newcomer first-year students, and I must say, you folks look splendid in your Marty t-shirts. Absolutely splendid. A sea of maroon. Welcome, Martys. There's great symbolic meaning in that t-shirt of yours. Just as we all have the same maroon-colored blood flowing in our veins as human beings, so we are all maroon as Martys. Whether we are black or white, English, Afrikaans or isiXhosa, urban or rural, rich or poor, a South African or an international student or staff member, we are all part of the Marty family, united in our diversity. Here, we strive to be inclusive. We respect each other regardless of our differences. In fact, we celebrate our diversity because it makes us stronger. We treat everybody with dignity, irrespective of skin color or language, or gender, or sexual orientation, or religious beliefs, or political views. Now, you are joining Stellenbosch University at a very special time in its history, our centenary year. And that's right, Marty's turns 100 this year. Which makes your 2018 Marty t-shirt a collector's item, so hang on to it. And this is one of the topics I want to touch on in my address, our centenary. Another major topic will be the water crisis that we are facing because of the drought in the Western Cape. Both of these aspects are reflected in the signage that you see on and around the field. So first, to our centenary. Stellenbosch University started in 1918 with just 503 students and 40 lecturers in 4 faculties. Today, we have more than 31,000 students and 3,000 staff members in 10 faculties on 5 campuses in the region. You folks are a very special group, our centenary intake. Stellenbosch received approximately 33,000 applications for this year, but we only have 5,000 places available for new first-year students. So you are a very select group. Year after year, Stellenbosch attracts top candidates from across the country and beyond because it is a top university. We are known for our academic excellence, which is reflected in a number of indicators. For instance, our student success rate is consistently around 85%, which is among the highest in the country. We regularly award record numbers of degrees and other qualifications, and we have the highest research output per full-time academic staff member of all South African universities. So little wonder then that a substantial number of last year's 24 top matriculants nationally are now here at Stellenbosch. If we look at one subject in particular, mathematics, 2/3 of the matriculants in South Africa who achieved more than 90% in maths applied to Martys. I'm proud to report that 4 out of every 10 newcomer first-year students admitted to Stellenbosch achieved a matric pass rate of more than 80%. And if we use 70% as criterion, it covers 8 out of every 10 of you. So well done, folks. But I must warn you that there's a big gap from school to university. Eerste jaar is nie graad 13 nie. Julle gaan baie hard moet werk, van dag 1 al. But the good news is that help is at hand. You are entering an ecosystem of support. It is an integrated arrangement with everyone working together. Like we see here today, our academics, management, and students are aligned, and we all share the responsibility for a successful academic and social environment. So I want to encourage you, if you find the going tough, ask for help, reach out for support, because at the heart of the excellence that Stellenbosch has become known for the past 100 years is a spirit of mutual support, friendship, and togetherness. In commemorating our centenary, we acknowledge our inextricable connection with generations past, present, and future. We will be celebrating our many successes and achievements of this past century. But at the same time, the university acknowledges its contribution towards the injustices of the past. For this, we have deep regret. We apologize unreservedly to the communities and individuals who were excluded from the historical privileges that Stellenbosch University enjoyed. We also honor the critical Māori voices of that time who would not be silenced despite being ostracized. And in responsibility, and in our continuing responsibility towards the present and future generations, Stellenbosch University commits itself unconditionally to the ideal of an inclusive, world-class university in and for Africa. That is our dream. That is our dream. Because we share the conviction held by former President Nelson Mandela that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. We're also honored to be commemorating our centenary in the same year as Madiba, who was also born in 1918. And he, of course, played a leading role in South Africa's transition to democracy in 1994. And 2 years later, in 1996, he received an honorary doctorate from Stellenbosch University. Now, taking a look at the commendation on that occasion, we see that Madiba was honored by Māoris for being 3 things. 1, being a simple symbol of empowerment through learning. 2, being an icon of peace and reconciliation through negotiation. And 3, being the embodiment of justice and humanity. Now, this is a legacy that we continue to honor at Stellenbosch University, and one that will serve us well as we enter the 2nd century of our existence. Now, let me now turn to the other main topic of my address, the water crisis in this region. Now, this precious resource on which all life depends is under threat like never before. We are in the grip of an unprecedented drought in the Western Cape, which has led to ever-dropping dam and reservoir levels. It is in fact so serious that we are actually facing the very real prospect of taps running completely dry. Day zero is looming large unless we all work together to avert disaster. There are two aspects to dealing with this crisis: supply and consumption. On the supply side, the authorities and the university are pulling out all the stops to secure additional water, for instance, through boreholes. But this won't be enough. We must also drastically reduce our water consumption. Now, a lot has been done already by the university to reduce the water footprint on our 5 campuses: Stellenbosch, Tygerberg, Belleville Park, Saldanha, and Worcester. And this includes the fitment of efficient shower heads in residences, restrictor aerators on taps, and fittings in toilets. Electronic water meters are also being fitted to measure water usage in buildings and to detect leaks. But again, this won't be enough if each and every one of us don't start using less water, a lot less. The City of Cape Town has set a target of 50 liters per person per day, and Stellenbosch municipality could follow suit. 50 liters a day. That's the combined figure for your total water consumption everywhere you go, whether at home, in res, on campus, or in town. And the only way of doing this is to change our behavior. Don't draw a bath, but rather take a brief shower, lasting no more than 90 seconds, and use a bucket to collect the water. Use that water in the toilet, and even then, only flush when you have to. Folks, like they say in the movies, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Also, find other sources of grey water, for instance, from washing machines. And there are many other things that can be done. Let's talk to each other about it. Let's find creative and innovative solutions. For example, like the 3 Marty chemistry students who last year came up with a way of reducing their specific laboratory's water consumption by at least 3,000 liters per week. And the 3 postgraduate students in earth sciences who are crowdfunding their nationwide study of South Africa's groundwater resources. Now, that's the Marty spirit, and that's how we will get through this crisis, with creativity and innovation, mutual support, friendship, and togetherness. The same principles apply to your health and safety. Please, take care of yourself and each other, and look after your possessions. Campus security is there to help. And always behave in a way that protects yourself. As a university, part of a university sector, part of a larger community, we too are vulnerable to HIV, AIDS, TB, sexually transmitted infections, and gender-based violence. Avoid factors that compromise safe behavior, because this university is committed to the values of caring and support for all. Later tonight, you will get the opportunity to write down your dreams for the future. To come to university is indeed a dream for many, but not everyone gets the opportunity to pursue that dream. That is why we welcome the announcement of additional funding by the state. This has implications for households in 2 income categories, up to 350,000 and up to 600,000 per year. But remember, you must apply for this funding. Our Center for Bursaries and Loans will be very glad to assist. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful opportunity starting here tonight. It is up to you to make most of it. Let us go forward together. Saam vorentoe. Masiye phambili. Thank you. Let me now introduce members of the rectorate to you. I ask that they please stand as I read their names. Professor Arnold Skoonwinkel, Vice Rector Learning and Teaching. Professor Eugene Klutter, Vice Rector Research, Innovation and Postgraduate Studies. Professor Nico Koopman, Vice Rector Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel. Professor Hester Klopper, Vice Rector for Strategy and Internationalization. And Professor Stan du Plessis, Chief Operating Officer. Unfortunately, our registrar, Dr. Renel Retief, is on sick leave today. We also have the deans of our various faculties present. Professor Jimmy Volmink, Dean of Medicine and Health Sciences. Professor Samuel Chechla, Dean of Military Science. Professor Nicholas Smith, Dean of Law. Professor Louise Warnich, Dean of Natural Sciences. Professor Dani Brunk, Dean of Agri-Sciences. Professor Reggie Nell, Dean of Theology. Professor Anthony Leysens, Dean of Arts and Social Sciences. And Professor Johan Molan, Acting Dean of Economic and Management Sciences. Apologies from our Dean of Engineering, Professor Wikus van Niekerk, and our Acting Dean of Education, Professor Yusuf Wahid, who could not be here tonight.